Albert Einstein was one of the greatest scientists in the world. Almost every child is aware of his name, and why not? He is best known for his theories of relativity, which revolutionized our understanding of space, time, and gravity. Now, this scientist may have been great, but in school he was not as intelligent as some of his peers. But he was still considered to be intelligent. But his brain was not an ordinary brain. Albert's brain was a little different since childhood, and he was faster and more special than you with time. After the death of such a special person, his brain was also stolen. Well, was it really stolen? Because you think for yourself, when the great scientist of the world would have died, was it so normal that a man comes and takes Einstein's brain away? It sounds strange to hear, doesn't it? So let's know the truth. What was special in Einstein's brain? But before that, let's go a little bit about the Einstein. Albert Einstein was born into a Jewish family in Württemberg, Germany. His father was an engineer and salesman, and his mother Pauline Einstein was a housekeeper. Einstein initially had difficulty speaking, and he was not very good at studies. Though his mother tongue was German, he later learned Italian and English as well. After he was born, the doctors noticed that his head was slightly larger than average. In those days, medical science was not so developed that it could know the reason for this big head. Growing up, the circumstances with Einstein were such that he was considered an abnormal child. Even after being unusual, his brain was so sharp that even today no one could compete with him. Although his brain was sharp, but there was a problem. Albert Einstein had difficulty in speaking from the beginning. In such a situation, he did not speak clearly until he was 9 years old. His parents were very upset because of his not speaking. At the age of 4, he learned to speak for the first time, but even then he did not speak clearly. He speaks half-heartedly and often remains silent. At the age of 9, he started speaking, whose story is very interesting. It is about the dining time. He also sat at the dining table with his mother and father for dinner. Suddenly he said the soup is very hot. His parents were happy to hear this later, but first were shocked at his clear voice, and they asked him why he was not speaking till now. Einstein's answer was, "Till now everything was right." Do you think their parents would have been more happy or shocked? By the way, Einstein himself was funny, and many of his habits were also laughable. He did not wear socks because his socks used to get holes. Another reason for this was that he believed that if one is working, then what is the need to wear two? In many formal dinner parties, he used to go without socks like this. Once went to Oxford lecture in the same way, but the attention of the students was more on his big hair than on his socks. Actually, Einstein did not like haircuts, and would often go for long periods of time without getting one, and anyone can guess it by looking at his long hair. Let us tell you that despite being such a great mathematician, Albert was considered a person of very bad memory. He could not remember names, dates, phone numbers. Today you might be smiling a little after hearing this. And from his time till today, whoever heard this was surprised. By the way, you will also be surprised to know, but he was not always so intelligent. Due to being weak in studies since childhood, Albert Einstein was also called retarded. In his childhood, he was counted among the stupid children. Due to some of his antics, some people even started calling him physically handicapped. Now it may be that many of you must have heard this story too, but friends, this is a reality. But now do not think that every weak child of childhood will turn out to be Einstein. Well, his teachers also did not like him because he used to pass only in the subjects of maths and science, and failed in every other subject. Since childhood, he had no interest in bookish knowledge. Nevertheless, he presented many such theses of science without which science is still weak. Then whether it is E equals mc squared or theory of relativity. And this is the reason why his brain remains a topic of discussion even today. So let's discuss his brain. Genius scientist Albert Einstein died on April 18, 1955. Then a pathologist named Dr. Thomas Stoltz Harvey stole Einstein's brain during the autopsy, and no one even knew about it. Harvey was a young pathologist at Princeton Hospital when Einstein died. He was asked to perform the autopsy, and he took the opportunity to remove Einstein's brain. Actually, Harvey wanted to test Einstein's brain, that what was there in his brain, due to which Einstein made so many physical discoveries. Also, Einstein had published more than 300 scientific research papers in his life. Like you and us, Dr. Thomas was also surprised, and wanted to know the secret of Einstein's intelligence. For this reason, Thomas had stolen his brain from the dead body. For this act, he was fired, and he promised that he would definitely find out about Einstein's brain, so that it could be of some benefit to science and scientists in the future. But due to not getting permission, Dr. Thomas Harvey kept Einstein's brain inside a jar of formaldehyde. Later in 1975, after getting the permission of his son Hans, he started research on Einstein's brain. First of all, he measured the weight of his brain, which weighed 1230 grams, which was very small according to a normal human being. Let us tell you that the weight of a human brain is about 1400 grams. After that, Dr. Harvey sent 240 samples of his brain to many scientists, who conducted a variety of studies on it. Some of the studies found that Einstein's brain had a higher number of glial cells than the average human being, which support and nourish neurons. Other studies found that Einstein's brain had a larger parietal lobe, which is involved in spatial reasoning. In a much earlier research, it was found that the part of Einstein's brain called cerebral cortex was different from that of a common man. Let us tell you that the cerebral cortex is an important part of the human brain, which is also considered the most complex, and because of this, his brain used to think extraordinary. However, none of the studies were able to definitively say what made Einstein a genius. Einstein always used to say that there is nothing special in me, but I am such a person who has a lot of desire to know. The theft of Einstein's brain has been controversial since it happened. Some people believe that Harvey was justified in taking the brain, because he was trying to advance science. Others believe that Harvey was wrong to take the brain without permission, and that he should have returned it to Einstein's family. By the way, how much his brain will be useful for the research scientist, only they will tell, but you can tell us by commenting that how correct was the idea of stealing brain for research. If you have liked today's video, then be sure to give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more captivating content. Join us next time as we unravel more mysteries and explore the wonders of the world. Until then, keep questioning, keep learning, and keep exploring.